Man, do you like podcasts? Well then,
welcome to
No Gimmicks Needed!
So, what do you guys want to talk about?
this is the Nerd Coalition. Enjoy the show. So last night, we had another Saturday night's main event for November 1st. And I'm glad we can do these little peacock things because I can actually go out and watch this stuff now because, once again, I know Survivor Series will be back on ESPN and we're going to have issues with that, so I don't even know. I can't even look that far ahead, but we had Saturday night's main event. Every match was a championship match. 4 matches that they had. And I was thinking about, because once again, I was like, I'm just going to add this to the podcast because I started doing part of the podcast. I started releasing those videos out to you guys. And I was like, I'm just going to keep it audio today because I'm trying to set up my camera and I'm having some delay with my camera. I was like, I don't really feel like fighting and fixing with all that stuff. So I'm like, I'm just going to add this onto the podcast and finish the whole thing out. So, and it's a great way to finish it out too, because I was going to just put predictions on there and then just release the podcast on Saturday. So I got the predictions out and then give you like a full-fledged review of this. I said, you know what, just wait, because so many things change, and even on Smackdown, things have changed. So I said, well, why don't we just wait till the whole event goes up, and then we watch the event, and then we just review it, because then people are going to be looking for the review also. So I'm like, they didn't really care too much about predictions, because honestly, when it came to this show, I felt as though that I had predicted every single match except for one of them. Okay, and I will get into which ones I thought it was. So I went 3 for 1 in my predictions when it came to Saturday Night's main event. So we're going to kick it off here. And we also got some major news when it comes to John Cena's retirement and how they're going to handle the retirement, because they got one more Saturday Night's main event. I think their deal was with NBC to have 4 of these events a year. So this was the 3rd one they had. And then we got the last one, which is going to be the John Cena retirement. And we finally have news on who potentially the opponent could be to face John Cena. And there is so many kinds of ways you can do this. And we're going to talk about that when we get to that part. But the one good thing is they didn't have no commercials during these matches. They had the commercial. They had a lot of commercials in between the matches, but none during the matches. I think that helped make everything flow. And what we kicked off with was for the WWE Championship, Drew McIntyre taking on Cody Rhodes. Now, on SmackDown, Drew McIntyre, they had a contract signed with Cody Rhodes, and what Drew wanted was that the Champion's Advantage, and for those who don't know the Champion's Advantage, I don't even know why you listen to wrestling reviews or watch wrestling, but for those who do, seriously though, for those who don't know, the Champion's Advantage, like if Cody was to get disqualified, he still keeps the championship. If he was to get counted out, he still keeps the championship. So Drew like, no, we taking that advantage away. I want it put in the contract that if Cody Rhodes gets disqualified, if Cody Rhodes gets counted out, I can still win the championship. They have done this stipulation many, many times over in many, many, many other wrestling promotions and stuff like that. So with that being said, so Cody said, fine, put it in the contract. I agreed to it. So then we had that. Then he had the entrances. They had Lillian Garcia do the entrance. They had the special kind of old school microphone, like the heavyweight fighter, you know, the Let's Get Ready to Rumble microphone. So they had that, and Drew McIntyre tells Lillian Garcia to call him the real American hero, Drew McIntyre. So now, throughout the start of the match, the whole match was, like I said, I'm not going to give a complete, scene for scene match breakdown. Just give you my overall thoughts of the matchup. I thought this matchup was pretty good. It was a decent opener to pick with because I thought this championship match was a lot better than the main event championship match that we got. But in the beginning, Drew is playing the mind games like, okay, like you try to get counted out, you try to get disqualified, you know you want to hit me, you know, all that kind of stuff. So you know that's the kind of game they was playing until in the match that things really started ramping up in the matchup. And along with that, everything kind of played into that, and I think this was kind of like on par with their WrestlePalooza matchup. The only thing that really kind of bothered me was the consistency of it, because remember that spot that Drew had at WrestlePalooza where he's about to Claymore kick Cody's head into the announce table, and the referee tried to stop him and hold him up, and it kind of distracted Drew and it held him back, which gave Cody the advantage, right? Well, it did that same spot here. Now, Cody did not go for the spot, but he did the same spot here, but there was no ref to stop him. And I was like, there's not a disqualification, so why even try to stop him? I don't know if they're trying to play into the storyline that Drew's getting screwed by the referees, but coming into this matchup, I thought that this was the time that they were going to probably take the belt off Cody, give it to Drew, let him have a little run for the end of 2025, and Cody gets it back next year going into WrestleMania. Well, as it seemed to be said, that was not necessarily the case here, even though I was like, because even with the Champions Advantage, I thought he was going to find a way to weasel out of it. There was even one point where Cody was on the apron and Drew knocks him off and he falls through the announce table. So Drew is begging the ref, like, count him out, because that could be the championship. But Cody makes it back in. Now, Drew introduces the championship into the matchup, but then when the referee is sidetracked, Cody uses the championship, because he's fighting with Drew on, that he DDTs Drew McIntyre on the championship. So, with that being said, he gives Drew McIntyre a crossroads, and it only took one, and takes out Drew McIntyre and retains the championship. And here's the thing. I love Cody. I have no problem with Cody being the champion. I'm not even tired of Cody being the champion. But I am tired of the same challengers. Like Drew McIntyre, I heard Solomon say this, that he was saying that he fits the Kevin Owens role. And I have to agree with him. That it's the same role over and over, and you got to get new challenges. You got to be able to spice things up a little bit. And it seems like Triple H just doesn't want to have the, certain kind of shakeups like that. Me personally, the idea that Cody and Drew had pitched of having Randy Orton accidentally screw over Cody Rhodes and have Drew win the championship, I think that was a nice way to do it. You can go into Survivor Series, you can go into at the end of the year and even the Royal Rumble until he gets his belt back, and you can set up Cody versus Orton for Mania 42. But don't say they won't do it that way. Now, but once again, Drew is still on social media talking about he got screwed over by the refs. And I was like, but you kind of lost. I mean, it's not clean, but it is kind of clean. And then he lost the WrestlePalooza. And I understand, look, and I have been a component. If you guys listen to any of the podcasts before of Triple H keeping stuff in the oven, letting things cook. But there is sometimes Triple H forgets shit is in the oven. And that shit be getting overcooked. And I'm like, sometimes you got to just take it out. Now, once again, could they push this to Survivor Series? Have Randy Orton come back and do their plan at Survivor Series and do it like on a PLE, and so it can be like, so ESPN can see it and be in good graces? Possibly, but I don't want that shit. You know what I'm saying? It's like, that's not what I want. And first of all, because right now, who is to believe if Drew McIntyre was to get another match where you kind of already lost clean twice to Cody, would they even believe that he has a chance against Cody Rhodes? And even if you could do the Randy Orton thing, but it's like, maybe that's just one show too late. I don't know, because I don't know what necessarily is going to be happening at Survivor Series. Honestly, the way I look at it, usually it's War Games. So you're going to probably have 2 War Games matches. I don't think they're going to do the MFTs. I don't even know what War Games match is going to be. I don't know who's battling out on the women's side. I don't know who's battling out on the men's side. Because at first I thought he was going to probably do MFTs and Y6. I don't think they're going to do that. I hope they don't do that. But I was like, will Cena come back and have his own team against, a new Vision-led team at War Games? Could it be? Could it be another Bloodline type War Games? I don't necessarily know. Then I would figure the announcement that we got pertaining to Cena, which I'll get to in a minute, that will probably take place at Survivor Series. And then there was rumors about Cena and Dom even going at it. And I'm like, so where does that leave Cody? Like, I really don't even know. And Survivor Series is in, 3 weeks? So when we see things on Raw, SmackDown, whatever the case may be, we're going to have to figure it out. But Drew loses again. I just felt as though it takes all the air out the bag for Drew McIntyre. Even if they want to do something at Survivor Series, I still think it's probably a little too late. I think this just kind of like sucked all the air out of the Drew McIntyre push. Well, not necessarily push, but what Drew McIntyre is doing. Next up, we have Jade Cargill taking on Tiffany Stratton for the WWE Women's Championship. Now, Tiffany was selling a leg injury. They even asked her at the beginning, are you sure you're able to go on? Because they asked her on SmackDown, hey, are you sure you're able to go? And she says, yeah. And I'm just like, well, we at Saturday Night's Main Event right now, you better be able to go. So Jade is now heel. We did talk about her heel turn earlier in the podcast also, but yeah, she's a heel now. And as soon as going down, I was like, there's no way you turn Jade heel and not have her win the championship. And look, I love Tiffany Stratton, and but one, I don't like her as a babyface. She does better as a heel. I think it's easy to hate her. And also, her run has been kind of trash because there's nobody to go up against her. Well, in this one, this was basically a glorified squash match. That's exactly what it was. It was a glorified squash match where Tiffany got about 5% of offense in. Jade dominated the whole thing. There was a thing where Jade's about to run into whether it be a pump kick to Shadow, not onto steel steps, but she reversed it and she goes and falls to the steel steps. Got kind of scared because I didn't know if she was going to hurt her eye again, get that scar again, but she did get her hands up to block it. But Tiffany tries to go and fight back, and she tries to go off the top rope, even hits a swan time only for a 2 count. Tries to go for the PME, but then Jade takes it down, hits a sit down power bomb, and Tiffany kicks out. And she's like, "No, we doing it again." Then hits 2 more power bombs, and then I forgot about she did hit a choke slam. Good looking choke slam, by the way. And then she hits the Jaded, and that's it. That's exactly what it needed to be. A demolition derby. She beat the shit out of Tiffany Stratton, and now Jade is your new WWE Women's Champion, which I suspected anyway. Because see, now I was saying before, like, this is what Jade needs to be. Her character is heel. Everything Jade does is just whether we look at it as heel or not, but even the way she pins, the way she looks, the way she has that arrogance about her, it just works better as a bad guy. It's easy to hate her, right? And all I'm hoping for is like, yo, bring the baddies back. When she had that group as a TBS champion in AEW, yo, bring that here. Bring Lash Legend up. First of all, if it was Lash Legend and Jakara Jackson, that's what to me would have been the nice group right there. But it's like, I don't think they're gonna want to put 2 powerhouses of Lash and her together. But I'm just saying she can redo that group, and we can really get like a good heel run with Jade. The only problem is we don't have nobody for Jade to face. I don't need to see Jade and Nia Jax. We don't have that many baby faces on Smackdown. Right now, like, Julie is a heel doing stuff with Kiana James. I don't need to see Bailey. We don't know what Meechan's at. Don't need to see B-Fab. We need stuff on SmackDown to help her with this run, because obviously with her having been a heel with that championship, you know what they about to run. They like, hey, yo, Bianca, how that finger doing? You ain't been seen since WrestleMania, and she has been sorely missed. And then we already lost Naomi. So I'm just like, so we need to get our resident sister back. Okay, we need to get Bianca back, because if Bianca's ready to go and she work on that finger, Bianca and Jade is the match for the championship at WrestleMania. This is going to how you do it. Heel Jade. Once again, like, we really got to boost up the heel. But before we get there, because honestly, if Bianca's ready to go, or if she's close to getting ready to go, because we're in November, and she can be a surprise in the Royal Rumble and win that bitch, and then go over there and face Jade Cargill at Mania, yeah. Dude, she already won the Elimination Chamber earlier this year. She ain't got to do that twice. Make her win the Royal Rumble back-to-back. Not back-to-back. Make her be a 2-time Royal Rumble winner. And I don't know how many, when it comes to the Women's Royal Rumble, how many 2-time winners Charlotte's a 2-time winner, I believe. So, have Bianca do it. And then go and face Jade Cargill. But before we even do that, we really got to establish the run. Like, Jade needs stuff to do. So she needs to be featured in Survivor Series, whether it be in a match or whether it be in the War Games match, and whatever they're going to do in December, and then at the Rumble. And then you really got to establish her as this heel persona, so then when Bianca comes back, that people be ready to be like, okay, Bianca, take that championship off Jade Cargill. They can do it, so I hope it works out for her. So then we get, before we go into the next match, we get news about John Cena. John Cena has like a little taped interview type thing that he don't want to let the fans down, and if he can no longer do it, or his moves and abilities not able to keep up with the current product, it's time to wrap it up, which is a good way to handle it. And John Cena, like we're done. The jorts is done. The sneaks is done. The hats, the colorful t-shirts is all this shit done. I'm done after this. So they are going to do a 16-man tournament. It's called the chances now or something like that tournament they call it. Whoever wins the tournament will be able to face John Cena at Saturday night's main event in his last match. Who had opportunity? But they said it's going to be superstars from Raw, SmackDown, NXT, and who don't even work in this promotion. I've already seen online everybody, the first person everybody goes to is Adam Copeland. It's not going to be Edge. I don't. Edge is starting to contract with AEW. Yes, I know stranger things have happened, but there's too much bad blood between Tony Khan and Nick Khan and WWE and AEW. I don't think it's going to happen. And yes, did they get Billy Gunn in 2K25 and he's under contract with AEW? Yes, that's a video game. This is something that's going to sell tickets and cost money. Adam Copeland, I still think he's still in the storyline, to be honest with you, but that don't mean nothing. And I don't know if his contract has, Tony Khan let his contract, fall under the wayside or not. I don't know any of that stuff, to be completely honest with you. I don't think it's going to be Adam Copeland. That's what I think Adam Copeland be the last person Cena goes to. If that was ever to happen, I'll eat my words. And two, that would be the craziest AEW crossover we'll probably ever see, but it won't happen. When as soon as he said that, the first thing I went to was TNA. It'll be a TNA star, but you got people in TNA that have history with Cena. Matt Cardona, Nick Nemeth. You have them in there. I know Joe Henry said he wanted to match with Cena, but he ain't gonna get it. Moose versus Cena would be kind of cool. He could be in a tournament, but he ain't gonna get it. It's gonna be 16 men. NXT, the only people I can see is the top stars like Trick Williams, maybe Javon Evans, just to have a good match, but he'll probably be out in the first round. Oba Femi, but yet, like they're not going to be the one that's going to retire. See, I still think it's going to be Gunther, but would it be cool to see all of these superstars from different areas try to face John Cena? That's why I think the finals is going to be at Survivor Series opposed to anything else. That's why I said earlier that they're going to have the finals at Survivor Series. So I'm excited for the tournament. I can't wait to see it. I want to see what the names are going to be. It's going to start after next Monday. So the money coming up. By the time you're hearing this, tomorrow is going to be the next Monday. That's when the day's going to start. So I'm like, okay, so we're going to, but maybe they'll reveal the brackets tomorrow and stuff like that. So I can't wait to see that. Triple threat match for the Intercontinental Championship. We got Rusev, Dominic Mysterio, and Penta. And I have to say, this was an entertaining matchup as well. It's just that when Rusev came back, I was expecting, so much dominance from Rusev. Didn't even get that, to be honest with you. Rusev been losing a lot. And I did not allow to the fact that, damn, we got Rusev losing again tonight. But it was still a good matchup. I did like the Eddie Guerrero spot, where, of course, Dom throws the chair at Rusev, and he catches the chair, and he goes out like, oh, he hit me with the chair. The ref's like, and? It's a triple threat match. There's no disqualifications. And, Rusev last time hit Dom with the chair, and then, Penta hits him in the knee, and then steps on Rusev's back and hits a destroyer onto Dom. That was a great spot. Also, there was a spot where Rusev went out there and scared little kids. Also, old school heel. I like that. So, towards the end of the matchup, Rusev got the accolade on Penta, and then the bell starts to ring, and I'm like, oh snap, Rusev's the champion. But wait a minute, I didn't see Penta tap unless I missed something. But that wasn't the case. Dominic Mysterio was out there ringing the bell, and it threw everybody off. I was like, that's actually kind of clever, to be honest with you. So Rusev was trying to get Dom, and then Penta stops, takes the hammer from Dom, and he goes to hit Dom with the hammer, but then he hits Rusev, and then Dom takes advantage, throws him into the ring post, and goes out, hits a frog splash on Rusev, and pins Rusev. I'm like, how many times Rusev going to lose? Are we going to build up to Rusev getting his championship, or we're just gonna put him in the John Cena tournament to lose again. Like I don't know. I just felt as though he's been losing more than I would like to lose. Like him and Aleister Black have been losing. Have they been on TV more? Sure, but they have been losing more. So I'm just like, so I need to start picking up wins. The main event is the singles match for the World Heavyweight Championship. CM Punk taking on Jey Uso. I felt as though this match was not good. They were sloppy in the beginning. I thought I was kind of bored by it in the beginning. They did pick it up in the second half, and it get a little more intense. I think when Jey Uso speared CM Punk through the barricade, and then puts him up in the ring and hits an Uso splash, but CM Punk gets his knees up and goes for the GTS, and it's Jey Uso kicks out. Those moments like that was pretty good. Also, even when Jey Uso hits, he gets out of a GTS, gets super kicked by he super kicks CM Punk, and it's an Uso splash on him, and CM Punk kicks out. Those things were good, but I never thought that Jey Uso was going to win the championship back. Jey Uso had his run. It was cool, but we got more bloodline stuff that's happening with Jey Uso right now. And the way it really ended was CM Punk hits Jey Uso with the GTS. He bounced back off the ropes like doing the Seth Rollins spot. He catches him again. It's another GTS. And it's over. CM Punk is now the World Heavyweight Champion. Would Seth Rollins if he was still the champion and he had this match Saturday night's main event, CM Punk would not be walking out the champion. But since things happen like this, CM Punk is out the champion. So now, I'm curious, now he can have a run with it. And he probably hold until WrestleMania. Is it going to be until Seth gets back? I don't necessarily know. They're going to still try to do that match. Will he be back in time? I doubt it. I'm not necessarily sure. So now I'm curious to see what the run for CM Punk is going to be like. What's he going to be doing at Survivor Series? I don't think it's going to be a War Games, but I like, what's he going to be doing at Survivor Series? So that is something that I am very curious about. But CM Punk is your new world champion. And now, like I said, with all these champions, like Dom retained, Cody retained, but Jade is new and CM Punk is new. So they all took a picture in the back, minus Dom. They had Ricky Starks back there. But it was a cool picture. So Saturday night's main event was basically a Super Raw, Super Smackdown type thing. It was fine for what it was. I was so entertained by it. The main event was the weakest match on the card for me. But overall, I think it was fine. And I do. If you got a chance to go back and see it, you can go back and see. I like basically the first half of it. But I think overall, it was a solid show.